Hey, I'm Thomas, and today I picked up some Doctor Who pop figures. So today when I set off to buy these, my plan was to buy the 4 main Doctors in this range, being 4, 10, 11 and 12. But they didn't have 10, so I just got 4, 11 and 12. And with the extra money, I just bought a couple of these, which I'll review in a later video. So, looking at these in the box, they look pretty awesome. I'm not even sure I'm going to take them. Of course I'm going to take them out of the box. I just realised there's actually numbers, so they're meant to be in this order. With, of course, 10 being there. So I've got him on order, and I'll just review the 10th Doctor with the TARDIS when I get that. So yeah, we'll just look at what we've got for today. So they look great in the boxes. They really display them pretty well on the sides and at the front. So if you want to keep them in the box, you can. On the side, they have a full display of the figure. On the back, they have the price and all the figures in the range. On the side, the name of the figure and a bit of his head. Same at the top with the pop logo and some legal stuff. All 3 of these figures have basically the same layout for the box, just with pictures of the different Doctors on them. So now let's open these up. So I've never held or owned a pop figure before, but looking at this 12th Doctor, I like it. So now we've got these out, let's look at them individually. Starting with the 12th Doctor, he looks really nice. His detail is pretty fantastic. He's even got his ring on his hand. He's got the Sonic, which has enough detail for its size, considering. The back has all this detail on it, of course, and the pants are just a grey. He's got his vest under there, as well as his shirt up there, and his shoes are a nice shiny black. For his head, he hasn't got heaps of detail in his face, because, you know, it's a pop figure. He's just got the big black eyes and the pointy nose, and something the other figures in this range don't have, except maybe the 10th Doctor. He has eyebrows. His hair looks fantastic. That mould really is like Peter Capaldi's in certain episodes, depending on whether he wants it long or short. There are no paint leaks by the looks of it, but there is a scratch at the back here, which is a bit of a shame. But I'll be displaying him from the front anyway, so it's not that much of a big deal. Next up is the 11th Doctor. So straight away, from picking him up, I've noticed that compared to the 12th Doctor, his neck is a lot more wobbly, which, although doesn't feel great, it feels a bit poor quality. When he's on display, you can't tell. You can see also underneath his head, it is a lot more messy. If you were to compare to 12, he's just got the circle, while 11 has sort of weird patterns and weird stuff. Anyway, aside from those flaws, he's got no visible paint leaks besides, again, on the bottom of his head. His hair does look a lot like Matt Smith's. There is this sort of line here, if you can see, where they've attached his really Series 6 hair, which looks great. His body is just, you know, the average 11th Doctor body with a sort of caramel jacket. Red bow tie. You can't see his suspenders, which is fair enough. He's got his, I guess, navy blue pants on. And then his shiny boots with some legal stuff at the bottom. And finally there's the 4th Doctor, who has got his big floppy hat. Oh, wow, well, I need to look at him for a second. So with the 4th Doctor, he's looking fantastic, but probably has the most noticeable flaws out of all the Doctors. So, starting with the head, his face is fine, and his hair looks really nice and big and curly like Tom Baker's. But as you can see on the hat, at the joints, there are these sort of dust glue. It's glue, but it looks like dust, and it won't come off. And this is really just at the back, which is okay, I suppose. On the top of the hat, there's also this ring of glue, which is a bit of a shame. But then, oh wow, you can really see heaps of glue there along the ribbon. But then the hat mould is very nice, and it's a big floppy one. The 4th Doctor wore. His neck joint, like 11's, is a bit wobbly. It's not as bad as 11, but again, it looks fine on display. You can see through here, unfortunately, the joint, which isn't skin coloured, so So it slightly subtracts from it, but oh well. Moving along to his body, he's got his scarf, which I personally prefer the colour scheme of the scarf that was used for the Jelly Baby 4th Doctor, but they didn't have that there, so this one still looks great. He's got his orange mini scarf under his checkered vest. He's got a very nice purple coat. He's got his pants, which again I find a flaw that he's got a chip there in his pants, which is a bit of a shame. And then on his shoes, there's a bit more glue. But besides that, they look fine. And then there's his Sonic, which looks pretty fantastic considering the size. So overall, for detail, the 4th Doctor's good, if not a bit iffy. So overall, what do I think of these figures? Well, I've never owned a pop figure before. For what it is as a pop figure, I think it's pretty good. As a Doctor Who collectible, I think it looks really nice, and it'd be good to have the whole collection, which I will eventually. They do lack detail in the face, but that is, of course, just the style, and the torsos definitely make up for it. Price-wise, for a Doctor Who figure, it is really good. If you were to compare this to, for example, even to these here, these little Doctor Who things cost about the same as these, if not maybe $3 cheaper. Whilst the big version of this, of one of these, like the War Doctor, was $50, and this is only $18, so this is a lot better value. Really good value, because it's not overpriced like most Doctor Who things would be. So yeah, I really like these. I'd recommend you pick them up if you haven't already. But yeah, enough rambling on. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time where I review the villains.